think we're live. Let me see. Good morning. We'll just get started in just a little bit. Let's try to figure out my best angle here. think it's going to be over here. I'll just go like that. So I'm sorry it was so late, guys. I finally finished up my homework last night. And I didn't sew them together yet. Because, and I was just looking for the picture, but I was on, I don't know, I'm part of some Kimberbell groups. And I was on one of them, and somebody had done it. And I've seen them before, but somebody had done their, they had done theirs as a wall hanging. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to get wild and crazy, and I'm going to hang mine as a wall hanging. But you should have had yours all done and at least cut out and trimmed and ready to go. So I did that last night. And I got my pie. Look at what happens when you actually read the instructions thoroughly. Good morning, Priscilla. So these, they're so cute. I got to tell you, I don't know. It was hard for me to choose my favorite. You know how you just can't choose because you love them so much? The only thing, and I did put a note in it, is, and I looked at the instructions, and maybe it's me, but if you haven't done the blueberry pie yet, make sure when you do this stitch that goes all the way around that you do it in a color that matches. And if I have time, I might even redo this one because I did it with purple thread here. And that doesn't get covered over. I was thinking I could put it in my IQ designer and take a picture of it, which I probably should have done before I cut it out. But maybe I'll do like a little satin stitch on top of it or something. But I did go over it again, but it just didn't cover it. And it's bugging me. So that's going to be blueberry pie step number 9. Use a matching color to your crust. Yeah, other than that, they're fantastic. I absolutely love them. They're so cute, like the pecan pie with the little drips on it. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So you should have all of these done. And a lot of them are pretty quick. So they're so cute, Daleen. They're so cute. So a lot of them are pretty quick. I did go ahead when I did, and we're going to do the foursquare today in the sew along, but I did go ahead and I just put the designs. I didn't do an all over design, so I'll do the foursquare one. I like molded over, just thinking like how would it be the easiest to put it all together. And I also want to let you know on these, if they don't go all the way to the edge, you're okay because you have the muslin behind it. So you're going to cut that 4.5 by 6.5 with the muslin behind it. So then you have your perfect edge. And then whatever's, in a little bit, as long as you have 1/4 of an inch, then you're totally fine. So I don't want you to worry about that. And it was really easy to just go ahead and stitch these just like this. For a minute, I thought, and there is. I couldn't feel it for a minute. It just felt so thin. I didn't know if there was batting in it. So we are going to start with, if you grab your spreadsheet, we're going to get started with the mixer today. So in your instructions or on your spreadsheet, it's the mixer. We're going to be using an 8x12. Our quilt design is going to be hobby, and our batting 6x10. So I told you I went and got these, and I absolutely love them. And I was explaining in my video yesterday that I accidentally bought 2 different brands. I mean, they look exactly the same, but when I got them out and touched them, this one was so much nicer. And I don't even know, maybe they have ones that are even nicer than this. But this one was Game Note. The other one was, what was it called? Suni or something. And that one felt really cheap and crunchy and thin. So if you are going to get some of these, I would get Game Now. I got these on Amazon. And then I also bought some of these. I just looked up, what did I look up? Reusable, clear zip something. I got these in 2 different sizes because Patrick would say, you think that buying that is going to make you more organized, and it's not. But I think I'm already more organized, ladies. Look, doesn't this look great? And everything's in there and everything's labeled. So what does he know? Patrick doesn't know anything. All right, let me grab my 8x12 hoop. Actually, my 8x12's already on my machine, ladies. So 8x12's already on the machine, and this is what you're going to need. So for your mixer, I have all my pieces of paper here. This is what I'm going to need. I'm not going to need this. Let's put that to the side. We are on page, what page are we on? Mixer's page 30. I'm so organized. And now I'm even more organized with my fancy clear reusable sleeves. We're going to be doing this in the 8x12. If you don't have an 8x12 or 6x10, instructions below are for a 6x10 hoop. There are hooping instructions for the 5x7 where you could do a double hooping, and I love that they make it so inclusive. So you're going to need your background fabric, and I have everything in here. I might as well pull it out. This is your background fabric. That was the one that I miscut. Yes, I did. And you're going to need your batting. This is for your mixer right here. This is going to be for your, I'm not sure, for the whipped cream, I think. And this is for the actual little carton. And then this is going to be for the label that goes, I think, over the carton. I'm pretty sure. And you're also going to need flex foam for the whipped cream base. They didn't call for a shape flex. I might add some to this so you don't see the yellow. I don't know. We'll decide. And then you need your silver leather and your flex foam, piece of flex foam. And we are ready to go. Let's go to the machine, load everything up, and get stitching. Hi, Virginia. I know. So Virginia, who's on here right now, she is the one who told me about the plastic sleeves and sent me the link. And I was like, ooh. And I went out and got them immediately because, like I said, I think that that's going to make me more organized, and it doesn't. It doesn't. The struggle is real in my house. Okay, let's hit the embroidery button. Let's pull out our design. So I'm going to go here to my USB. First thing we're going to do is I keep pulling this up and going, I need to take some of this stuff off of my USB. We're going to go Sweet as Pie Quilting and Hobby 5. And we want the 6x10 design. So I used the clear blue tiles when I did that 6x6 patch block. So we'll use that today. Clear blue tiles. Clear blue tiles will give you the design only. And we're going to go 6x10, which is right here. Let's go ahead and set it. Let's choose our hoop size, the appropriate one, which is going to be 8x12. And let's add our design. Design is going to be centered, so we can just load it in there. I really needed this alignment when we did Cup of Chair, because a lot of those weren't aligned center. And let's get our design, which is going to be right here. And we are stitching out the mixer. I hadn't used my hand mixer in so long, I gave it away. Do you see here it's 5x7? So you have your, or no, that's not even it. Where's the mixer? So here's where you can do them separately, but we're doing it all together, which is right here. So make sure you select the right design. You want the one that says 6x10. Don't pick the one that's split up with 2 5x7s. So let's go 6x10. We're going to go ahead and set it. It's centered. We're going to go to the next page, and then we'll move it a little bit. And mine is completely I'm kind of centered on my fabric anyways, but I have fabric going to the right, so I'm going to move mine over to the left this time because I have all of this on the top that I can use later with my 5x7 hoop. So I'm going to take mine, go layout, move, and I'm going to scoot mine all the way to the left. And again, my hoop is on so it won't go outside my embroidery field. And we are ready to go. Let's go ahead and say okay. I want to make sure I have my stitch out. They're like this. They're layered back and forth. So if you're ever on a screen and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm lost, I can't find my options, it might be there. It might be behind, and you just hit that button. There's your stitch out. There's your editing options. And we're ready to go. Thread-wise, let's see what color they want. I always like choosing what they want us to use for the thread color. I'm not sure what that one is. Let's look. Let's look. I wanted to take this. I've seen lots of people who go and get it like, they get it bound. I think that's going to be cashmere. So let's grab cashmere. They take it and they spiral bind it. I want a spiral binding machine. Does anyone have one of those? I know people used to buy the ones that had the, it was almost like, not quite wire bound, but it had the, it's like plasticky kind of. All right, first thing we're going to do is we are going to do the placement for our batting. So I want you to get your batting and give it a little shot of spray. I don't think you should tape it, right? Because then it's hard to rip the tape off. Here, let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and spray. Let me get my spray tent. I'm going to spray my backing and my batting. Here is my handy dandy spray tent right here. Whoop. I'm just going to give it a little spray. And then I'm going to do my backing fabric too. Whoops! Okay, just threw everything on the ground. Okay, so those are ready to go. There's my spray tent. I also have a big cardboard box that I use when I'm doing longer strips. But I just love my spray tent. It's so cute. Let me go ahead and lay this down. If you have any dark threads, always get those because you don't want it to shadow. And I'm also going to lay down my background fabric. Let's put this down too. And you just want it to be, you want to have like an inch, at least an inch going all the way around, which feels pretty good. All right, we're going to skip the next 2 steps. Have you ladies gotten comfortable with skipping steps? I hope so. We're skipping the batting tack down, we're skipping the background placement, and we are going to do the background tack down. I was scared to skip the steps in the sew-alongs because I didn't want to confuse anybody. But hopefully it makes sense, and if you are a little confused, it's worth it to do it because it saves so much time, and we all love saving time, right? I know I love saving time. And then you can just go ahead and hit start and let it do the quilting. It's going to be 3 minutes of stitching. Did anyone else see this made into the wall hanging? I couldn't find it. But I'm definitely going to do it. I think it's just going to be super cute. It means I might have to make my backing a little wider. Virginia, you stitching today? So if you are in Facebook and you're watching through this sew-along group, that is through a link, and so you can't make any comments. So don't think I'm ignoring you, but I don't see all the comments. Look how cute that is with the flower. These really are, like, these are just absolutely adorable embroidery or embroidered quilting designs. And I wonder how they do it. I wonder if somebody just draws it and then they just digitize it, or maybe they can just draw it like a Wacom or something like that. You should be stitching. Daylene and Priscilla, how about you? Are you guys stitching today? Okay, after you do this, you are going to need your silver thread. It's the one that's called sterling. You need this. We're going to go ahead and do the mixer next. This is one of my favorites. That must be butter. Can't keep up. I know, I kind of chug along. You know, lots of people just kind of show up and just make this a time that they're going to just sew. Even if they're not working on Sweetest Pie, they just work on something. Are you kidding? I have like 20 million projects that I want to be working on. Maybe I'll show you some that we're going to, I'm trying to get them up for classes. This would be really cute. You know, we did those pot holders and we did the quilting on the back. I'm sure they have like an 8x8 or was it 9.5 by 9.5 or 10 by 10? I can't remember the size. But you could always blow it up. But wouldn't this be so cute because it's like kitchen themed, cooking themed? Okay, I'm going to put my sterling in. I'm just using a white pre-wound bobbin. I use Filtech pre-wound bobbins and I buy them by the box because I go through them. There's like 80 in a box and it just is so more economical. The first time, I couldn't even think of sharing a box now. I'm so bobbin greedy. But the first time I bought my first box of bobbins, I split it with my friend Sage. I want to say that was a box of like 100. And we split it. Oh, look at this. This isn't even applique yet. So this is just going to be the stitching of the beater. Do you ever have stuff in your house that you're like, I never use this, and then you give it away, and then of course you need it? So I had a hand mixer, and I think it was a wedding present, and I never used it. I gave it away, and then Patrick wanted to use it for like cookies or something. And I'm one of those people, I keep everything. I don't know why, it's like I'm never going to use this. I'm not a baker. I don't bake. been working on some freestanding lace. I think I've been working on it for a while now, but I'm almost done. But these are, and like when I do my freestanding lace, I do them on long strips too. So this one's gonna be, I forget the three-dimensional pumpkin, and then these are for the floral pumpkins. They're super pretty, but I mean, I just keep stitching and stitching and stitching. And tonight I will go ahead and pull all of this apart, rinse it, and then I lay it out. It's like be the equivalent of freestanding lace cookies. I just lay it all out. This is leftover from the poinsettia from Janine Babbage, but it's that time of year. I don't know about you, but once it starts to get cold out, that's when I'm ready to do freestanding lace and tiling seams. So I'll probably do a video tonight just showing you how I prep all of those once they're done. Okay, now it is going to be, that was step number 1. Step number 2 says stitch the beater base placement line. Well, this is just tiny. I thought I needed a big old piece. So this is your beater base placement line, and you want to use the same same colored thread. Here's this is all my silver that I still have from before. I'm just going to lay it down. I'm not even going to spray it. Just going to put it right here. You are going to trim this as desired, so you want a little bit of space around it. And that looks good. And then we're going to trim as desired. I really think you end up saving so much leather or so much of your embellishment pieces just by trimming it as you go. Instead of cutting everything all at once. And trim as desired. I'm going to get my straight, I'm going to get my curved straight scissors. If you guys know me, you know I have a good friend of mine. Her name is Sage, and she comes and visits all the time. We grew up together in Connecticut, and she she came and completely cleaned and organized my sewing room. And it took me a couple days to find everything, but and she always, and I always say it to myself too, I go, like things together. She's always telling me that. Just put all your like things together. So I did. I had scissors like all over the room in all different spots. Kind of because I have like different workstations. But it has been, I've been trying to keep all my scissors all together. I was looking through my scrap bin, and she had taken all of my pieces of like clear vinyl from all different projects. I think I had them rolled up all over the sewing room, and they were all together. I was like, I wish my mind worked like this. My mind likes to work in chaos. My mind says, oh, there's a spot there, just put it there. It's just wherever there's room, that's where my mind likes to put stuff. Oh, look, you found a little 4-inch patch. Go ahead and put something that makes no sense to be there. But then I remember that it's there. So, anyhow, I've been trying, ladies, trying to be better. Okay, let's go ahead and slide that back on. And now it wants you to do, it says stitch the mixer placement line, and it says color doesn't make a difference, so I'm just going to leave the sterling in. Fluff your fabric in case you have extra hanging. Okay, this is going to be your purple fabric. So let's go ahead and put your purple fabric in your spray tent or your spray box. Give it a little shot of spray. There's your handle. Oh my goodness. If I went to the store and there was a cutie mixer and it was this pretty purple, I would buy it just because it was so cute. After you do this, you are going to stitch the mixer tack down, trim the fabric close to the stitch line and inside the handle opening, being careful to only cut through the top layer of fabric. Patrick always says that I'm a fashion over form, that I buy things because they look good and not because they work well, which I can't always argue. I think I like fashion and form, right? I like it to work well and look good. Okay, I want you to get your curved scissors. And you might have your favorite. Like, I know there's a lot of people that love duckbill for their applique. I was never able to find a pair of, once I finally did buy a pair of, because I need that duckbill on the right side. So, because I'm a lefty, although you will see me cut with my right hand, like right now, but I'm a more dominant left-hand cutter. And so when I finally did get a pair of left-handed duckbill, because they also have the bill, the bill is on like one side or the other, and the left-handed one, I can't actually cut with true left-handed scissors, because what I've learned is, because I've bought some and they don't work for me, is I am a left-handed cutter that has trained my left hand to cut with right-handed scissors. Because it's a right-handed world out there. Unfortunately, I'm right-handed. I do, the only thing I do with my left hand is cut. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not going through. Just make sure it feels thin, that you're not going through 2 layers. That feels thick to me. No, that's good. It's only 1 layer. My mom told me, and I've told you this story before, my mom told me when I went to school they called her because they were concerned that I was cutting with my my left hand. My mom was basically like, who cares? My mom was also the one who, I went to kindergarten when I was 4. I was probably 4 and a half. I wasn't 5 yet. And they told her to bring me back when I turned 5. And my mom just left me there. And that's how I started school. That's why I started school early. It was fine. Okay, stitch the whipped cream base. And again, color doesn't make a difference. I'm just going to leave this same sterling in. We're going to do the flexi foam first. My daughter and I were laughing because my parents saved all my report cards. And so we were reading through them. They gave them to me, I don't know if it was like 5 years ago or something like that. So they gave me all my old report cards, and they all say the same thing. They all talk about what a good friend I am, how well I make friends, and that I'm a good student. But then they all say I talk too much. I all said all of my report cards. think I've always loved socializing. I was not you shouldn't sit next to me in a class because I'm distracted and distractible. I think I've gotten a little better at 52, finally. All right. Whipped cream. My college roommate taught me how to make whipped cream. Okay, so this flex foam. So that was step number 6. Stitch the whipped cream. Base tack down, trim the foam. That was step 7. And now it wants you to stitch the whipped cream placement line. And it wants you to change out your thread. And it is asking for linen. So let's go ahead and put linen in. So I didn't even know you could make whipped cream. That was like amazing to me. That you could put, what is it? Is it like sugar and cream, or is it just cream? That you could whip it and it would turn fluffy. That's still amazing to me. All right, now it wants you to put down your whipped cream, which is going to be your big piece of coconut cream. I'm just going to give it a little shot of spray. Oh, actually, I think it wants you to do a placement line. It does. It wants you to do a placement line, but let's skip it. Because you know that this is the bottom and that there's a drop of whipped cream up there. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it so I know I'm covering the bottom part. And that I have a bunch of fabric up on the top. And we should be absolutely fine. And I'm going to skip that step. And let's just do the tack down. Here we go. So after we do the whipped cream tack down, we are going to trim the fabric close to the stitch line, and then it's going to be the decorative outline and detail. Hello from Yorkshire. How are you, Adele? That is awesome. I'm super excited for you. Now you can just spend more time having fun and less time fighting a machine. That's never fun. Yay, we love that machine. And 3 days of stitching. Yeah, because I feel like before it was in the shop and out of the shop and in the shop. Here we go. Have you been naughty, Adele, and staying up late and sewing? I was thinking last night as I was going to sleep, but I was still working too. I was answering some emails and placing some orders. And Patrick always says to me, are you trying to ruin my sleep? Because he is ready to go to bed at like 10. And I was thinking in my head, but I didn't say it to him. I was like, thank goodness I have you, because while I'm ruining your sleep, you are saving mine. Because he forces me to go to bed. Otherwise, I am a night owl. I just love the nighttime. The nighttime is the right time. Look at that whipped cream. Uh-oh, Adele's been staying up late. How can you not when you have like a fun new toy to play with? Okay, now it's doing, this is step number 10, stitch the whipped cream decorative outline and detail. Oh no, we've got a bunch of night owls on here. Night is so great though, because nobody's bothering you. Dinner's done. You can just go ahead and stitch away. How much work are we getting done at work, Sue? If you're watching A1 vacuum videos. Okay. After this, it says stitch the cream carton placement line. Color does not make a difference, it says, although I'm starting not to trust. And then we're going to place the cream carton fabric, and that's going to be the fabric that's that yellow. Oh. Alright, go ahead, and I'm just going to leave this same color in. So I'm just going to hit start. I'm going to grab these two pieces of fabric next. This is the one with the polka dot on it. I'm going to give it a shot of spray. With your polka dot fabric, make sure you spray the right side, or I guess I should say the wrong side. But make sure you're not spraying, yeah, you want to be, what I mean is spray the wrong side so you can put it down and it'll be right side up. All right, we're going to lay down our carton. And then you're going to do the tack down. Stitch the cream carton tack down line. Trim the fabric close to the stitch line. Get your curve curved. That doesn't sound right. Trust your mama ears. I'm going to check my bobbin. Something sounded funny. I'm just going to check my bobbin and make sure. So do you see how that's almost tangled there? I don't know if you can see that, how it's getting caught under that. I just want to release it and just make sure it's okay. I think it's okay. I don't know. That sound to me is like something's up with your bobbin. Maybe that'll have released it. If I hadn't have done that, then maybe my thread would have broken. My tension would have gotten weird. Maybe a needle would have broken. Not a big deal. Just stuff that happens. Don't freak out. It's all okay. It's just stuff that happens. All that stuff happens. I call it like self-hazing. Embroidery self-hazing. It's just going to happen when you stitch. When I hear a noise like that, I always check my bobbin, and then I might check my upper thread. Because every once in a while you'll get like, your needle might hit your thread and then it starts to like coil up. Not a huge deal. Okay, now it says stitch the cream carton placement line. It is asking for white, so I'm going to change out my thread. I usually show people because you're not supposed to pull your thread back. So I'll show you every once in a while. Right here, there is a tension disc. So you should never grab your thread here and pull it back. But what I do is I unthread it. I just unthread it to right here. There's no tension disc here. As long as the foot is up and you know your foot is down. My foot is down. Now I know my foot is up, and then you can just take it out. It just comes right out. But you shouldn't grab it and pull it back. There's, right here, there's like a spring, and it can get wound around that spring. And then what do you do? Because you're not supposed to take your machine apart. I think I did maybe take a screw out once and try and take this off, and then I got scared and I put it all back. I know I had thread caught in here one time and Patrick was gone, because usually I just call for Patrick and he fixes it for me. That's the beauty of living with a sewing machine repair guy. Okay, this is going to be a placement line. He was away one time, and I tried to floss it. I took like literal floss and just put it through to try and like dislodge what was there. And then when it didn't come out, and I was desperate, I just grabbed the thread and I pulled it and I broke it, and it was fine. It worked. It worked out for me that time. I don't recommend that. I think I got lucky. Okay, stitch the cream carton label tack down. And now we're going to put this down. And I would never have done that if he had been home. But desperate times call for desperate measures. And I was in the middle of a project. You know how it is to feel desperate when you're in the middle of a project. Like when we're closed on Sundays and Mondays and you can't come see us. Trim your fabric close to the stitch line. There we go. And now it wants to stitch a decorative, your decorative outline just in the same white. And then we're going to be grabbing our other colors, and I think it's all going to be just outline stitching. So after you do this one, you want to grab your, this is next, buttermilk. Now we're going to stitch the cream carton. It says stitch the cream carton detail. So put in your buttermilk. And then you're going to stitch the cream carton satin outline, and that's all going to be in buttermilk. Okay, satin outline time, it's going to take 3 minutes, and then we're going to do the purple around the mixer. That thread's getting dragged around. I'm going to clip it. Clip it before it causes me some kind of issues. Did you ladies see that, that gal that took all those bench pillows and, makes it not so boring? I saw this and I was like, oh my god, that's absolutely amazing. Did you see this? So this was somebody and they posted this on Kimberbella's. And they took all the bench pillows and made it into a quilt, which I thought was for her great niece. Is that just gorgeous? I would never think of doing that. I just love, and this looks like that was from Boardwalk. I don't even know what this one's from. That looks like she mixed in, like, that looks like just the reading pillow. So I just thought that was absolutely amazing. Okay, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the wall hanging. And let me see if I can find it. It was so cute. And maybe it wasn't on this site. I can't remember. I can't find it. If somebody finds it, they're going to have to email it to me. Because, or I'm sure I can figure it out, right? I can do it myself. I've got a brain. All right, let's go ahead and put in purple. Thank you, Miss Kristen. Kristen Makes. I'm going to fly to Reno to see your shop one of these days. I would love that. You know, we should, we will do an event at some point too. We'll do something fun. But yeah, I would love that. I've, like Virginia came. I've met Virginia, who's in California. And yeah, I do meet people every once in a while, but it's always nice to match a face with a name. Where are you, Kristen? So I went ahead and changed it out to my purple, and now we're doing the satin stitch around the mixer. Southern California. That's not too far. Corona, where's Corona? I don't go down there often. The last time we went down to Southern California, I mean, is Southern California, is that like all of Southern California, like LA and everything, San Diego, that's all what you guys consider Southern California, right? I don't want to sound stupid. I went down, you know, we're going through the college process right now. And so I took my twins down there, and we went down to, and you gotta, I grew up on the East Coast, flew into Reno for a work event in Tahoe on Friday. I wanted to go. No Disneyland. So we went and looked at a bunch of schools down there, and I don't know why, I always have a bad attitude. I was like, I don't know if we're gonna like these schools. I grew up on the East Coast, and I think I was an East Coast snob. I just thought East Coast schools were the best. We went down and looked at USC, UCLA, Pomona, Claremont McKenna, Harvey Mudd, and I couldn't believe how gorgeous the schools were. I was like, after we toured, I said to my daughter, I was like, why would you want to go to school back east when you could go to one of these gorgeous schools here on the West Coast? Because I just had no idea. I didn't know that I didn't know. I just didn't know. So I did the same thing when we went to Denver. We went to look at some schools in Denver, and I told my kids, I was like, why would you want to go to any of these schools when you could go to school in California? And we went and looked at like DU, Colorado College, drove through School of Mines, CU Boulder, and you know what? They were all amazing. Absolutely amazing. I just have a bad attitude. Yeah, they were amazing. It would be incredible if they went to any of those, if they could get in, because I know it's really tough to get into the UC schools. And then, who knows how much it's going to cost. I'm going to have to sell a lot of Kimberbell ladies. I've got 2 going to college next year. Yeah, I know. That's I wish I was in state. Even in state, I think then it's housing, right? That gets you. So we're stitching the mixer satin outline. After we do this, we're going to stitch the mixer accent placement line. That's going to go back to your sterling. I'm looking ahead in the instructions, and right here we're going to change the bobbin to match the top thread, and that is when you're going to be using, I think it's the brown. Let me just confirm that. I'm going to look at my other sheet. So you're going to need a matching bobbin. I am all out this time. It looks like it did use it all up at least. Let me just get my fancy silver bobbin holder. I was talking about it in my video last night that I wanted to have like something pretty to put my bobbins in, and so that's just like a piece of silver that my mother-in-law gave me. And I think she told me it's for nuts. I was like, not anymore. You must have meant bobbins. It's just going to waste sitting there, and we have a little something that we keep. I can't even call it like a china cabinet, although we do keep china in it. And it was just sitting there, and I was like, oh, won't that be so pretty? It's pretty tarnished. I need to shine it up. But it's so cute. Makes me feel fancy. Okay, let me look at that color. Let me stop talking. Focus, Jeannie. That is the dark brown. So it wants you to use a matching bobbin. And I don't have a matching. I guess I could wind one. I think what they just want is they don't want you to use white. Because when you're doing stitching and it's fine stitching with the lettering, that's when you're going to see it. But a lot of times I'll just choose a bobbin that maybe kind of match, like it comes close to it. So I might use a gray one. Or, let me look at my handy dandy bobbin saver and see what color I have in here that might be close. I do have a brown. But you know what? This looks like brown cotton. And just so you know, if you use... Is this cotton? Let's see. If you use cotton in your bobbin and you use embroidery thread in your upper, sometimes it causes your upper thread to break. Just a little, probably not well known fact. I have none of these match. I don't have anything that's brown or close to brown. Oh, but look. I have one more bobbin saver. And I told myself I would not do more than, oh, look at that. That's perfect. I'm going to use this. It's brown, it's embroidery thread, and it is the right size. I told myself I could get one more bobbin saver because I was only going to put my I was only going to put L bobbins in it. I use L bobbins in my PQ 1500, but somehow I've been sneaking some other ones in there. Okay, go ahead and take out your purple thread. You're going to put in your sterling or your silver. East Coast snob. I don't even know. If I knew what I knew now, I would have come to school out west and had gorgeous weather instead of the rain and the snow that I had in Boston. Or maybe not. It was fun going to college in Boston. Okay, get your leather. You're going to put down your silver leather for this. How big? I'll just go ahead and lay it down right here. And I always look to see if it says trim as desired, or are we going to trim? So I'm going to put it up a little bit further. Let me just check and make sure I'm up high enough. I am. I just want to have about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And if you don't have it yet, make sure you have a brown bobbin. We're going to need that in step number 24. Alright, let's go ahead and trim this. You want to go, I'm using straight curve to go over the edge. I always forget that because our store is closed on Sundays and Mondays. So for me, Sundays feel a lot like another, they just feel like the weekend. It's the weekend, ladies. And I have so much I need to do today, though. I gotta make sure. I feel like a bad Korean when I run out of kimchi. So I'm gonna go to the local Korean grocery store and restock. When I retire someday, I'm going to make my own kimchi just like my mom did. But right now, I just buy it at the store. They kind of sell it everywhere these days. You can even get it at like Costco. All right, let me go ahead and slide this back on. Look how cute that looks. Is that just so shiny and cute? I find that if I cut with the curved curve, then it wants to cut kind of scallopy and not totally straight. So, now it says stitch the swirl fill, and you're still doing that same. Is that right? Let me look, make sure. Yeah, stitch that's step 21. Yeah. That little handle's going to be in silver. Oh, today's the last day, ladies. If you are planning on ordering the Oh So Delightful quilt kit, we're doing it at 25% off for our pre-order, and today's the last day. If you get it tomorrow, it'll still be on sale. It'll be 20% off. But we wanted to do a 1 week special where we did the whole kit at 25% off. So if you want it, get signed up. Just do it on the website. That quilt's probably going to be out, I'd say February or March. It says February, but these days I always tell people to tack on a month. now you want to stitch out cream. We're going to put the purple back in. There's also a new fun event that's going to be coming up. I need to get signed up for that. We usually do every new Kimberbell event. We always do it. We always do it as soon as they let us sign up for it. I'd love to repeat some of the older events, but there's never any time because we end up doing a new event. They probably come out with a new event every 2 months. Uh-oh. That was wrong, but I'm going to leave it. Sorry. That was supposed to be outlined in... I don't know why they had you do that twice. But that was supposed to be outlined in the silver, but I'm just going to go ahead and leave it. This is step number 23. I'm sorry if you're following along with me, but I'm just going to leave it. It's a cuter accent. So this is stitching out cream. You know why I was confused? I was reading as, I must need new glasses. I said stitch the swirl fill, and it's the switch fill, and then the switch detail. Doesn't this look so cute? Like, look how good that looks with the silver. Looks pretty darn cute. If we order the new kit and CD during the North Pole event, will it count towards... Miss Daleen, I will count it. So I would just get it now and just send me a note, and I'll count that because the North Pole event's going to be what, next week? I think it's next week. Yeah, it's next week. So just go ahead and just send me a note. But do it now so you get that extra, because it's not a cheap kit. I totally get it. So get it now. Send me a note. If I forget, remind me. But we'll just call that your North Pole event order. I totally get it. It's not cheap, so just I'm a consumer too, so I would want that to be my event order. All right, let's go ahead and I'm bad at sticking to the rules. Let me go ahead and put in that brown bobbin. So we are going to be stitching out where the very bottom where it says fresh 16 fluid ounces. Sometimes it's nice when I'm doing fine stitching, like lettering. Sometimes I'll switch to a 60 weight thread and that gives you more detail. It's thinner. The first time I ever used 60 weight thread was when I was doing Disney princesses and I was doing their eyes. The stitching around their eyes and their eyelashes, and a 40 weight thread would be equivalent to clumpy mascara, and a 60 weight thread is really clean, nice mascara. So you get that with fine lettering too. So if we did this lettering and these numbers with just a white bobbin, it would definitely give you some pin dotting. And I could have switched over. I have a set of 60 weight thread. It's just kind of nice to have. I could have switched over to that too. I'm going to do this H, and then let me grab that 60 weight thread, and then you can see the difference. Okay. I'm going to do the rest of the stitching, and if you have a 60 weight thread, you can grab it as well. We have a really good sample at the store that Michelle Gilmartin did, and it was using all different weights of thread and how it affected the look of your embroidery. Whoop. This is a little bit of a lighter brown, but you'll get the picture. Awesome. Let me show that to you. And you're going to want to get either your side hoppers, or if you have your, I keep forgetting what the name of the scissors are called, the OEST ones. Are they the Perfect Snips or something? But I'm gonna snip the threads first, and then you can take a look at it. These are nice because it has like a little hook on one end. You can get the hook on one side. I usually clip one direction, and then I flip them over and I clip the other direction. It's always harder to clip the other side. And then I also have side hoppers, which I absolutely love. And these, I call these like little feet. So you just put your little feet down and you just go ahead and snip. And this too, one of them's a little finer than the other. So you want to get the finer side under, snip. So whichever one suits your fancy, you want to go ahead and clip all these so you can actually read what you stitched. I don't know, maybe that one's supposed to be there. So here is the difference between my 60 weight, which is, my 40 weight, which is on top, and then below it is 60 weight. So as as the number goes up, thread gets finer. So you can see it's a little bit more defined. It's a little more gloppy on the top. So if you have some 60 weight thread, you might want to throw it in there. I'm going to go ahead and change out my bobbin before I forget. Remove the block from the hoop. We are done with this one. Done, ladies. And we'll go ahead and trim it out later. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and change out my bobbin. So while I'm thinking of it, let me go back to my white. And let's go ahead and let's talk about the next embroidery. Let me clear this off. Oh, I think what we're doing next is going to be, let's come on over here. Here we go. I'm going to pop this one out. And it's gonna be like this. So it's gonna stand up like this, and that one is cute. All right, we are gonna do, I think the next thing on our agenda is the foursquare. Is that right? Yeah, so this should already be pieced. So that was your homework. If you didn't do your homework, it's okay. You can do it later. You can just watch. Let me get rid of these. Actually, this is where I put my done ones. See how organized I am, ladies? Oh, man, I struggle. I struggle to even open this. I have two of these because, of course, I lost one, so I had to print another one. I'll just put it in here. Because that's what organized people do. Everything has a place. That's what Patrick says to me. Why can't you put your keys in the same place every time? And I would say, I would love that. Wouldn't it be nice if that's how my brain worked? And I didn't have to look for everything every single time? I put this away too. I have a special place for that. All right, what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to go ahead. I really had to think long and hard about how to do this for it to make sense. And in the beginning, I was like, I loaded all 4 designs, the 2x2s next to each other with the placement stitch with all of that. And then I said, that's silly. So I'm actually going to spray the right side of my batting. And I'm going to spray the wrong side of this. Okay. And I am going to center my batting. It should be a 1/4 inch smaller on all sides. So I'm going to center it. And about a 1/4 inch. Okay. So there it is, placed in here, pretty centered. And then I'm going to give this one more spray. This is the wrong side now, and that's how we're going to put it down in the hoop. So let's go ahead and spray that. I'm spraying it pretty well because I want it to stay down. Okay, I have this hooped up already. This is my 5x7. So I already have my muslin in there. Let's go ahead and put this on the machine. That is ready to go. Okay. Let's go ahead and I'm going to say okay here. I'm going to go home, embroidery, and we're going to put in all of the embroidery designs for 18, 19, 20, and 21. So 18 is pie 2, 2x2. So let's go in here. And we're going to go here. And we are going to be loading clear blue tiles, which means it's only the embroidery design. So, sweet as pie. And it is, they're called bitty blocks. I like to call them itty bitties because that's not me being cute or anything. That's me thinking that that's what they were called. I was calling them itty bitties. And so now in my head, they're itty bitties. So we're going clear blue tile. And it shows you a picture. So the first one is a picture of the pie with the wedge cut out at 12 o'clock. So it's going to be this one. So we're going to load that one first. Set. We'll just move them over here to the side. And then we want number 19 is Hobby 5 2x2. So we're going to add. We're going to go here. And we're going to go Hobby. These are Hobby 5, and we want the 2x2. Whoops. Oh, yeah, that was okay. We want clear blue tile, though. And we want 2x2. Set. And then number 20 is going to be... Was that 20? Oh, same thing. Oh, so I didn't need to go in here. Oh, actually, so we want that again. That's for 19 and 20. So instead of going out and adding, we're just going to go edit. We're going to make a copy. That's the quickest, easiest way. That's going to go here. And then finally, for number 21, we need the piece of pie. The piece of pie that's tipped down. So add. We're going to go get our itty bitty. Yesterday I asked Violet if she wanted to get acai bowls, which, okay, of course, the one that's tipping down, that's the one we want. It's basically like a smoothie bowl. And, you know, the first time I ever saw it, I called it a K bowl because it's spelled A-C-A-I. And, of course, you know, she corrected me. She's like, it's acai. I'm like, okay. Okay, I'm going to choose my hoop size now. So we're going to be in the 5x7. So I'm going to go up here to my settings. I'm going to go to my frame size. And again, you might be on a machine where you have to hit the right arrow or the left arrow, and it goes through your options. On the Luminaire and Solaris, it gives you a drop-down window. So I'm going to go 5 by 7. And now I know exactly how much room I have to work with. Well, in addition to that, I'm going to use my camera. And I know you don't have this option on all the different machines, but on my machine, I can just hit the camera button right here. That's also on the Luminaire and the Solaris. Adele, on your Stellar, you're going to take your hoop. And for you, if you have a Stellar or a Stellar or one of the ones with the apps, I'm going to go ahead and kind of put this in here and center it. And of course, I want, you know what? I didn't even look at this for my other one. You want to make sure that mine isn't pieced right. I'm not pieced right because now my piece is horizontal, but I'm just going to go with it. It is what it is. When I pieced it, I should have pieced it so that this piece was like up and down. But it's okay. I'm putting this in pretty much centered. Actually, I should have put it up top, but oh well. And you want it to be pretty straight this way and this way. So, Adele, you're going to use your app and take a picture of it and then send it to your machine. Hopefully, you're going to get lessons with your machine, and they'll show you how to do that. You have a calibration sheet that you're going to use first, and it's really, really easy. You're just going to take that picture, send it to the machine, and then it's one extra step. That's all it is. All right, for me, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to hit my camera button. And we're going to hit scan. If you're on a Dream Machine or Destiny, you just hit the camera button and it will automatically take the picture. It is taking a picture of what is in my hoop. See that dark thread that's dragging around? It will take a picture of that too, but it's okay. We'll know it's a dark thread. It may or may not show up. If I stick my finger under there, it'll take a picture of that too. You can see my dark thread right there. But now we're just going to drag these and place them where we want them. With the Luminaire 2, Luminaire 1 doesn't have this, so if you didn't do the upgrade, it's not going to have it. But you can increase and decrease your contrast. I'm going to leave it right on the middle. And now let's get our designs. I will use my finger, or we can use the new stylus. So use this to get general placement. And then you're going to use I'm going to snug this in the corner. Now remember, you have a 1/4 inch seam allowance, so you do not want it centered to that square because you're going to be sewing a 1/4 inch all the way around. And it doesn't necessarily have to be as far over as I have it. I'm going to play with it now. Now that I have that done, I'm going to close this window. I'm going to go to edit and I'm going to go to move, and that's where I can fine tune, move my and I'm kind of looking on the edges to make sure I'm going to have that 1/4 inch. Whoops. We'll go, that looks good, right? This one, I'm going to move over a little bit. Four. I think that was 4, right? So I'm going to snug it right in that corner, and then I'm going to move it. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that should be good. And this one right here, let's just move it out. Because you have a 1/4 inch. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because I'm looking at that outside corner. And I can go back in here, increase my contrast, close that. And then you can see those edges really, really well. That one looks like he could go up a little bit. We'll just leave it. All right. I think I'm good. I'm ready to stitch it out. So I'm going to go ahead and say okay. Let's see what color it is asking for, but isn't that easy? We're just going to go ahead, take your little picture, hit the camera button. Don't be scared of it. It is scary your first time. Your very first time, you're like, I don't want to hit it. I don't want to touch the button. And then you touch it and you go, oh my God, that was so awesome. That's kind of like Patrick was telling me that he took Kai on a mountain bike ride. I'm looking for my 4x4. I guess I should just look at my handy dandy spreadsheet, and it says that it's on page 35. Okay. Page 35. He took Kai mountain biking, and Kai was cramping up, and they were middle of nowhere, but by a stream. That is color. It's the one that looks kind of flesh tone with a dot in it. So you can refer back to, because of course I haven't memorized it. I'm going to have to add that to the spreadsheet too. So I would call this one the flesh tone, right? So Cork. We're going to use Cork. That's cashmere. This is Cork right here. Took Kai mountain biking, and then Kai was cramping up, and Patrick, I think they'd run out of water or something, which is strange because Patrick's always ultra prepared. And he told Kai, drink from the stream. And Kai's like, I don't want it. And he's like, drink from the stream. It's fine. And he made him drink from it. And Kai said he took like one sip. And the Kai was like, oh, that was really good. So that's how you ladies are with the camera. You're like, I don't want to do it, scary. Then you do it and you're like, oh, that was awesome. Okay. So let's go into here. And let's go into layout. And let's do all one color. And that should make it so it doesn't stop. It just stitches all. Although, you know, we could maybe let it stop, and that way we could make sure it's where we want it to be. I don't want to hit the camera button. Hit the camera button. You're going to love it. It's not that scary. You do have to make sure that you are, especially if you're using a big hoop, that you're not too close to the wall. It's going to take your entire hoop and move it up and down. So if you're close to a wall or a windowsill or something and you hit, I would tell you, assume that you have thrown your machine off calibration. Turn the machine off and back on again. That's how easy it is to recalibrate your machine. Just turn it off, turn it back on again. You're going to be back in business. But when you do hit, like if you ever hit your embroidery arm with your chair or you hit it with your arm, that can knock your machine off calibration. And that's why sometimes you'll start something and it's stitching an inch too high, or an inch to the left, or an inch to the right. So just make sure you have enough room around your entire machine. And that's how easy it is to do your foursquare. And if you were more mindful, your fabric would be in the right direction. Mine is not in the right direction. But that's okay. It's okay. I should have, this one should have been on the other side, and that would have made it work. But we'll just go with it. All right, on to the next. Do you like this? I'm like, I don't give you a break. I don't let you get water. Just stitch, 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 ladies. All right, next one. We are going to be doing, this is like bad angle. I wonder if that's a little bit of a better angle. It's always a struggle here. Okay, we are going to be doing ingredients. So let's go ahead and I know I put in your spreadsheet that I was going to use Fruit 2 4x4, but when I thought about it and planned it out, I thought, hey, it's just as easy to stitch each one separately and it looks cuter. So that's why I ended up doing it that way. All right. Where are we at? Ingredients. Ingredients is on page 36. 36. Oh, so I wanted to talk to you about this. You know we don't have our next sew-along scheduled for 2 weeks because next week, this weekend is the beginning of my kids. They have a fall break, so it's the beginning of their fall break. And so we're taking our kids to... we're going to Las Vegas with them this weekend. and I won't be getting back until late Monday night. So I didn't schedule our next sew along until 2 weeks after. Am I on the right page? What am I on? These are ingredients. We are working in the 5x7, so I'm going to just rehoop. I don't know. Can you wait that long? Like, how are you feeling? I'm feeling like we're on a roll that we shouldn't wait. That somehow maybe it won't be a sew along and I'll just post the videos. How would you feel about that? Because a bunch of you are just watching it anyways and not stitching with me. I think a lot of you say I'm too fast. I can't help it. I've got a lot to do. There we go. Okay, so we're in our 5x7. We're going to do ingredients. Let's get our little sleeve. Oh, look how organized we are. We're so organized. And for this one, this is your fabric. You're also going to need your iron on vinyl. Let's go ahead and heat up our iron right now because we'll put that on. And then you're going to need your white leather. But I was thinking, because I think I could film a couple, because this is all we have for week 3. I don't think you want to wait. Do you want to wait? I think I should just stitch it all out. And then, you know, like I said, I'm going to make mine into a wall hanging. Okay, where are we putting our vinyl on? Clear vinyl is going on the measuring cup. The measuring cup is, where are they putting on the clear vinyl? Clear vinyl, where are you? Change bobbin. Stitch the measuring cup vinyl tack down line. Oh, actually, you should have real clear vinyl. We're not ironing this on, so you should have clear vinyl. And I remember unpacking it in my kit and being like, I need to be really careful with this because I'm gonna lose it. So you should have a piece of clear vinyl. Do not fear, I have lots of clear vinyl because I have it from other projects. So we're not ironing it on. You're just getting a piece of clear vinyl. Like, I mean, I have all of this clear vinyl. But let me find some and we'll put it on there. But just keep in mind you need that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this away because this is not what I need. We actually need the clear stuff and it's not going to be ironed on. And then it did call for the twine. So I grabbed my twine. I don't know if we're going to put it on now or later. Your white leather. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to give our batting a shot of spray and our background fabric a shot of spray. I mean, we could probably spray almost all of this right now. And we are working in my 5x7, which is already hooped and ready to go. Let's go to the machine. Clear vinyl is, and I found it in my pack. It's one of those things you like almost throw away, or you might have thrown away because you didn't even see it because it's clear. So hopefully you didn't throw your piece away. I almost threw mine away. Just saying. It happens. Hopefully I can find it. It probably is sticking to the clear vinyl of one of my little packs. All right. It says that color doesn't make a difference in the beginning. And plus we're doing our quilting. So let's load our design first. Let's get our sheet. You're like, she's everywhere today. I am. I'm sorry. We're going to go home. Let's get that thread out of the way. We are going to go embroidery, pocket, and for ingredients, we want weave 1. I love weave. I think that if it's what I'm thinking of. Is it like the woven blocks? I love it. Not itty bitty. And weave 1 4x6. Oh yeah. I love this. We're going to add. And to that we're adding our ingredients. Sweet as pie embroidery. And ingredients. Where are you? Is that it? That's it. Right there. Right? Okay. Ingredients. Set. And then we are going to, it's centered, so we're just going to hit embroidery. And I'm going to scoot them up to the top. Layout, move, scoot. Okay. And you don't have to do that. I just do it. It's so easy. Why not? And let's go ahead and switch that so we have our stitch out. Go ahead and hit start. While it's doing this, I'm going to spray my backing and my background fabric. My batting is what I meant to say. Batting and background fabric. Have you ladies learned to speak Genie yet? Because it's interpretive. The way I speak is... Sometimes you need to like fill in the words or switch the words, or you just need to know what I mean. Sometimes I don't say what I mean. Okay, about an inch, feel around there, and if it's about an inch, go ahead and press it down. And now it wants to do the tack down. And let's see what color it calls for the stitching. It's going to be brown. So I'm just going to change it to brown right now. And I'm not using my 60 weight brown. I'm using the regular 40 weight brown. We carry 40 weight in, I'm sorry, 60, well, we carry 40 weight too, but we carry 60 weight if you did need that thinner thread. It is it's called Fine Line. And I think like having it in black and white, red, for me those are the colors. I mean, black really is the color I use the most, but it was nice having brown too. Okay, do you see that? Did you see my foot was like shaking? I usually tighten this with my screwdriver. I've never had it shake like that, so maybe I forgot. But that, if you should always hand tighten it, and then you should always tighten it with a screwdriver. This is the same one that I use on my hoop. It fits right over this screw. But that would have broken some needles. That's when your needle hits it while it's shaking. You don't know what's going on. Scares the heck out of you. Oh, thanks, Heather. You saw that too. Yeah, it was really wiggly. Is NorCal Quilter, is that Lois? Who's my NorCal Quilter? Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and... What am I on? Hang on. Let me go back to my layout and... What is going on here? Because I'm all in one color. Okay, layout. Oh, there. Sorry, I had that on, so it wasn't showing me my color list. All right. I'm confused here because let me go back to the beginning. I think I tacked down my batty. Okay, give me a minute, ladies. This will be a good time for you to take a little bit of a break. Because I shouldn't have tacked this down. I really needed to tack down my I did not want to tack this down. I did want to tack it down, but I wanted to tack it down with the batting tack down stitch. So let me just take this out really quickly. I could not have, of course, it wouldn't be a sew along with me if I didn't make at least one big mistake. And there it is. Okay, What I like to do when I take stuff like this out is I will cut my stitch here and I'll cut it in the back, and then I'll pull up on my top stitch and that will reveal my bobbin, and then I can just cut it like this from the front. And I don't have to get my seam ripper under every stitch and just pull up. But you have to cut your top stitch and your bobbin stitch for this to work. And I wonder if I could just kind of, nope, you gotta, that way you can see the bobbin stitch. And it would go even faster if this wasn't doubled. I think that wiggly foot threw me. Hi, Miss Cheryl. This might be where it started. We'll go from this end. There we go. There's the white. It's a little bit faster. If it was one stitch, it would pull up like 5 stitches at a time, and it goes super, super fast. And that the stitch for the tack down for your background fabric is going to be just a little bit outside. It would be 1/4 inch, so I really need that tack down, and not this. This I don't want. This should have been for the batting underneath. And I was just watching it, not even thinking. How are we doing on time? We're doing great. Do you ladies like starting at 9 instead? Should we just do them 9 from now on? Feel like it gives me an extra hour in my day. Momosita will get out a little bit earlier. We had a hardcore cuddle session this morning. Oh, that's only one thread. But see how it's coming up so easily when it's one thread? I'm going to have to go back for the other one. Must have lost it here. There we go. All right, I'm going to just... Let me grab a piece of tape and clean that up. Glad that happened. It happened to me and thought that was something I did wrong. Oh, are you talking about the foot, Miss Cheryl? That the foot was shaking off? Honestly, I don't know if I've ever, because I am a stickler. I'm a stickler for like always tightening it with a screwdriver. And you know what? Now that I think about it, I don't even remember doing that. So I must have just hand tightened it, which is very, very, very odd for me. Because, and that's a lie. I always do a screwdriver because I probably had one shake off on me at one point and it scared me so bad that I always do my screwdriver now. And that's a big part of like the lesson, like when we teach you at the store, make sure you always, always, always use a screwdriver too. And we are back in business. That wasn't too bad. We just had to take a short little detour. Let's go. Let me fast forward. So now we are here. I'm going to go to 0. Sit 0. So we're at the very beginning. That is placement for the batting. We've already put that down. Tack down for the batting. Placement for the fabric. Tack down for the fabric. That is what we want. I'm going to go ahead and hit start. And now we're where we should be. And hopefully you had a nice little potty break or coffee break or snack break. Patrick didn't make me coffee today. Bad husband. I'm just kidding. He's so good. He did all the laundry yesterday, just like he's supposed to. He got up early with the kids. Jeez, it makes it sound like I cooked dinner last night and I did all the dishes. So we're a good team. All right, now it says we're going to do the quilting. Go ahead and do the quilting and then we'll get into the embroidery. Next color that's going to make a difference is mint. So grab your mint thread. We're going to use that to do... Are we using mint julep or are we using magic mint? I think we're using mint julep, right? For this. I have both of them in my thread bin. I don't know why. If you don't have one of these, you should get it. It just makes it so much easier just taking this and putting it on this. Whoop! So don't do that when you are stitching. I'm going to stop right here because that is something where it could have knocked my embroidery arm off. I'm just going to turn off. I'm going to cut. It should resume, but I'm at stitch 2074. I'm going to turn my machine off and back on again just to make sure I didn't throw it a couple of stitches. Okay, note to self, do not demo advanced screwdriver while machine is stitching. It's going to ask me to slide off my hoop. I'm going to fool it by just pulling it forward the tiniest bit. You know what? That's a bad habit. No bad habits for the ladies. It's worth it to just take the extra time just to do that because I look like I'm not totally, I look like I'm a stitch down. So I'm going to just go right there and let's just go ahead and start. And it should be fine, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm totally, and it's not much, but I'm off a couple of stitches. But now we're back in business. Everything is recalibrated. And that's a good lesson too. See how many stitches I'm off right there? But that's okay. Nobody's going to notice that. And then I'm back in business. So if anything hits, if anything goes awry, turn your machine off and back on again. And that thing that the machine does when you turn it on where the embroidery arm moves over and moves back, that is your embroidery arm calibrating, and that will fix your issues. Like if you have a stitch, like people come in and they go, oh look, like my stitching isn't where it's supposed to be, and they think it's the machine when in fact they had done something to impede the arm where it couldn't stitch where it was supposed to, or maybe your needle got stuck in one spot and got bogged down, or, you know, we've all had our foot, if you've done embroidery long enough, we've done it applique, we've had the foot accidentally scoop underneath and like get held in one spot. And that's what happens when you try to demo a hoop screwdriver in the middle of the embroidery. But we went ahead and fixed that. I stopped it. Okay, let's go ahead and change out. I'm going to change out to my mint julep. We're having so many wonderful lessons, mini lessons about what not to do, and then what happens to what you need to do to fix it in case it does happen. Sometimes those lessons are important too. Okay, we are going to go ahead. Right now I'm stitching the measuring cup placement line, and then you're going to place the measuring cup fabric, which is going to be the minty colored fabric. So I'm going to give that a little shot of spray. Measuring cup fabric. That is going to be the white. You know, and the white doesn't even have shape flex on the back, but I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to go with it. It didn't say to do it, did it? Okay, this is going to be the top. Okay, tack it down. And then we're going to trim it close. Was that right? Measuring cup fabric. Because is that, what do I need for my eggs? This is the flour. The white leather's for the eggs. Okay, just making sure. Just checking. And it said color didn't make a difference, so I had that in there. So I'm trusting the instructions. Trust Jeannie. I want my curved. Where are they? The other thing I love to use for this is just going to be my snips too. So anytime I have just one layer, snips are good. You know, I probably have like 4 pairs of snips, but at this moment I can only find one. All right. Heather, I love that you were saving me from my wiggly foot. I didn't see your comment until after, but okay. So that's down. Now now color does make a difference. So it says stitch the liquid placement line. What are we making that's minty green? It's a little creepy. Makes me think of like some kind of medicine. Okay, we're going to lay this fabric down. Honestly, I wish I'd put shape flex on the back of all of this. I don't like shadowing of dark fabrics behind stuff. But I didn't. I'm just going to go with it. If you were going to do this later, I would put some shape flex on the back of that. I don't know. I must feel lazy today. Normally I would have done it. I would have stopped and said, okay, ladies, let's shape flex this. But maybe it's okay. That's okay, right? I don't like my dark fabrics showing through on my light fabrics. I guess that's okay. All right. Trim the fabric close to the stitch line. That's step number 4. Stitch the liquid decorative outline and detail. We're just going to go ahead and leave your mint in there and do that. And then it says color doesn't make a difference, so we're going to stitch the flower placement line. While it's doing this, why don't you give this fabric a little shot of spray? That's going to be for the flower container. We haven't talked about this, ladies, lately, but when you go to spray, I don't want a heavy aqua net, make your hair stand up, super big spray. I just want a little spritz. It's like a or it's but fine out. I don't want it like where you're pressing down all the way. You don't need that much spray. Okay. I'm just going to hit start because it says color doesn't make a difference. We're on step number 6. Stitch the flower placement line. We're going to put this down and let's do our tack down. It says again 7, the color doesn't make a difference. Trim the fabric close to the stitch. And then it says stitch the flower bag detail. And you're going to have a heavy satin stitch. And I'm guessing we are using cashmere. No. We are using, do you think we're using cashmere? I can't tell. What does that color look like? Let me grab my other book. Is it linen? I don't think it's linen. Linen's usually with the white. That looks like, I think it's cashmere. Okay, I'm going cashmere, ladies, but let's trim it first. Let's trim. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm getting caught on threads. Some of you need to be getting ready because Michelle is doing her curated mini bag class. And you are going to have so much fun. And that pattern is absolutely amazing. We've taught that bag in the class. We've taught the Roxy and the Rozzy. And those are sewing patterns. And just the idea, and it's an all-day class when we've done those. And just the idea that you can do an in the hoop project. I think there is a decent amount of prep in the beginning, but I think it stitches out pretty fast. Here we go. Let's go ahead and we're going to put, let me check that one more time. Yeah, we're going cashmere. Take out my mint. number 8, stitch the flower bag detail, and then we're going to stitch the flower label detail, and that's going to be in purple. Okay, let's put in your purple. Purple. I love purple. In my dream house, my house would all be all jewel tones, like purples and peacocks and deep blues and teals and colors like that. But instead, because I can't make a decision, everything's white. My house is so boring. I don't know how to decorate. Some of you that decorate and you do such a good job, that's a gift. We're not all born with that gift. Okay, after we do this, we're going to stitch the word flower, and then we're going to change to our, we're going to change back out to that, you know, I'm going to do mine for the measuring cup. I'm going to do mine in dark gray. Do we have a dark gray? So I'm going to grab a dark gray bobbin and dark gray thread, and I don't think the stitching is going to be so small. Go ahead and just hit start again for the word flower. It looks a little thicker. I think I'm going to leave it. So I'll do the dark brown, but I'm going to just use that, like, should I use my, I guess I should use my brown bobbin. This is just stream of consciousness coming out of my mouth. Also going to look for some vinyl that I can use. If you have vinyl and it is wrinkly, you can always take a, let me see how big my vinyl has to be. By 3 inches, so this looks pretty good. So I have this piece of vinyl, but it's got a little wrinkle in it. So I'm going to heat up my iron. And I learned this from Michelle. She did this in one of her bag classes, and I thought, oh my God, that is so brilliant. You don't want to put the iron on your vinyl because you'll melt it. You could go really, really low heat with a press cloth or something like that. See, when it's at least that thick, you don't need to go thinner. But I am gonna, let's go ahead. Let's use up that brown bobbin. That's why I'm going back to it. I was like, oh, I want to just use it all up. Okay, we're going to put in the black brown thread. This is that dark brown. It's called warm gray. It really looks dark brown to me. Like a warm dark brown. Not a cold dark brown, but a warm one. Okay. Go ahead and let it do its stitching. While it's doing its stitching, let's go ahead and let's look at what you can do. So when you have vinyl and it's a little bit wrinkly like mine is, instead of ironing on it, you can just iron on your mat. Get it nice and warm and just kind of press it on here and just like smooth it out. Yeah, I just have that one wrinkle. Because I have ironed my vinyl and it almost, you just want to be doing it in the lowest setting. You want to use a cloth with it. But this will kind of soften your vinyl. Like if you've had it folded up or something. It's kind of, that's just as much heat as it kind of needs. I'm just working on that one crease right there. We are pretty smooth. We're good to go. All right, let's see what's next. So my lines are done. There's my cord. And stitch the flower label detail 2. I'm just going to hit start again. It's just going to stitch out 1 cup. And then we're going to change the bobbin thread back to a neutral color, and we're going to stitch the flower satin outline. Ooh, it's a little clumpy. You could go 60 weight for this too. But I'm already committed. I'm just going to let it go. Okay, if you're watching now and you're going to do it later, I think I would go 60 weight with that. And you're going to have to trim that thread right there to make that U look like a U. Let's go ahead and change our thread back. When in doubt, just go 60 weight. I don't know what that is. Okay. We want to stitch the flower satin outline, and that is going to be, what did we decide on? Did we decide on cashmere? Yes, cashmere. You know what? Stitch the flower detail. That was supposed to stay in there because there are 2 lines, and every once in a while you want to look at your screen, and I looked at that and went, that's not satin outline. Let me put this back in. There were 3 steps that you needed to do with this brown, and I only did 2 of my 3. So I'm glad I caught that. Let's just go and put my brown thread back in, and we're going to do that quickie little detail stitch on the flower container. There we go. Now it looks right. And now it's showing me the right thing on my screen too. you've got your little stitch out, and that tells you what is coming next. And it's always, if I looked at that more, I think I would be saved from making any mistakes. Well, I would still find a way to make a mistake, but you know what I mean. All right, now we're going to satin stitch, and I'm going to put my cashmere thread back in. Here we go. This is going to take 4 minutes of stitching. So clean up that sewing room. I know you have thread everywhere. Or is it just me? Okay, I'm talking to myself. Jeannie, clean up. After we do this one, I'm going to switch up the order a little bit. We're going to go ahead and let's do one of the square in squares. Normally when I piece in the hoop, I will combine the quilting with it. However, these square in squares, which are the ones over here, they're all done separately, and then they're sewn together, and then it's quilted. So if these were quilted individually, then we would add the batting and we'd switch up the order and do those. But let's go ahead and we're gonna do, we'll do maybe 1 or 2 of these. Whatever we don't finish is gonna be homework. And then I'm gonna load in the rolling pin right here, because I think we can put in the rolling pin and part of that together. Can we? Let me figure it out. I'm gonna play around with that right now. Gather. Okay, next step. Still thinking. Next step, we are going to stitch the measuring cup satin outline, and we're going to do that in white. So go ahead and change out your thread, put in your white. Then you're going to place your measuring cup vinyl completely covering the measuring cup satin outline. Note, be sure to remove any loose threads and clip jump stitches. Before placing the vinyl, we're going to have to get our jump stitches taken care of. How are we doing, ladies? Is anyone stitching with me today? Are we watching? Okay, so you're going to get your scissors, your OESD snips or your side hoppers, or both. This is 4 minutes of stitching because it's going around the whole thing. Hey, Susan. Ooh, spring showers. I loved that one. I can't remember. You know what I loved? There were so many things I loved about that one. I know they were a pain in the butt, but I loved those felt flowers. Those were so cute. Put the quilt back on one, but it turned out fantastic. Oh, good. I'm so embarrassed to even say this. I still haven't finished my cup of chair because I have to finish a couple of my embellishments. All right. That was not sounds of me turning into a werewolf. That was Momo. I was just playing tug of war with him. Okay, now we want to go ahead and we're going to put our our vinyl down. So before we do that though, we're going to have to clip away any of those jump threads. That I know I haven't put the back on mine. I haven't. How many of you that did cup a chair, you put batting in between? Because I didn't put batting when I did my spring showers and I regretted it because I felt like it showed through. I need glasses for my glasses. I think that is a thread that needs to come out. Do you think? That does not look like a C to me. That looks like a... Looks like an O. And this is going to be sealed in for eternity. How can I make that look like? There we go. Better? Better but not perfect. Will that do? Is there a thread there that... I think I got it. Don't get too aggressive. That's when we poke holes and stuff. Okay, I think I'm good, but you want to get any other loose threads. So I want to get these two, like this one right here. And I think that looks clean and good. Now, good luck finding your piece of vinyl again. I'm just going to put mine down like this. And it says, stitch the measuring cup vinyl tack down line, trim the vinyl as desired. I'm going to go ahead and place my vinyl now. I'm just going to hold it in place for it to start stitching. There we go. Once it gets started, you can let go of it. I think that's what I'm going to do too, Susan. I'll just put like a thin batting, but it definitely needs something. If you don't put something down, then you can see, not necessarily through the fabric, but you can almost see the outline of all your embroidery. So I think that's a good idea. Brenda, you know what? I started doing these because I thought I'm going to be stitching anyways, so might as well stitch it with my ladies, and then if they have any questions, I can help them along, and they can let me know if my foot is wiggly. There's been many a time you have saved me, so I totally appreciate that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and trim around the vinyl. And it says trim the vinyl as desired. So I'll give it a little bit of an edge, just a little bit of one. And of course, I'm going curved straight. How fun is this? What about this part? What do we do here? This, I think, is going to get covered over with the eggs. So, whoop. Here we go. I know I get lots of emails and like super sweet calls from you ladies. I totally appreciate it. You know, and I do this so long too because it keeps me, when there's a schedule, it keeps me on track. because I have a big old shelf that I call my shelf of good intentions. And if I did all of those as sew-alongs, everything would be done. Because when I say I'm going to do it for you ladies, I'll do it. When I say I'm going to do it for me, it gets put on the shelf of good intentions. And I go and sit on the couch and eat a bag of potato chips and a bubbly and watch TV with Patrick when I should be doing stuff. Sometimes I'm just so lazy. What's wrong with me, ladies? I want to be productive. Always. I want to be productive always. Look how cute that looks. Is that, I don't know if you can appreciate that, but it is so adorable. All right, let's slide her on. Where's your ball? Go get it. Okay, now it says to stitch the egg placement line. We're still using white. Just go ahead and hit start. You're going to need your white leather. And we're going to place it right side up. We're going to trim the leather as desired. As you desire, ladies. As you desire. I have so much white leather here, but, I mean, look at my big old piece here. We're just going to use this. There's so much of it. We'll go right here. You want to have enough to trim around about 1/8 of an inch. I'm just going to hold it to let it get started. This is my egg tack down. This is step number 18. And then we're going to trim as desired. I watched this video this other day. If you look at my YouTube feed, it's all sewing. And then it's all animal videos. And I watched this video. I don't know why I watched it. Yes. But it was a bald eagle nest, which I don't know why they did it so close on the ground. But it was a grizzly bear found it and just ate her eggs. Oh no, actually it wasn't even her eggs. It was her fledglings. They were like hatched, and there was nothing they could do. It was so sad. I don't know why I'm sharing that with you. I guess because I was thinking eggs. Okay, be careful you don't cut into your flower. Can you even see that? I don't even know if you can see that. But nature's pretty scary. And these are the things that come up because, you know, based on what you read and what you click on. I use Google Chrome, and I know it tracks me in it. But it puts things that it thinks I'm going to click on and read, and of course I do. But, and then I had one this morning, and it was like, it was the eagles that take the goats and, like, pull them off the cliff. Just can't believe that. It must be scary to have to be out there in nature and fend for yourself and deal with predators. And okay, those eggs are stinking cute. I love them. Let's slide our hoop back on. What is next? It says stitch the twine placement line. Ooh, looks like we are going to be using our twine. So I'm going to go ahead and it says color doesn't make a difference. I'm just going to leave the white in there. Find the center of your twine. Let me grab my twine out. I was so impressed that I was able to find my twine today. And I really did think I had the right vinyl. I thought I was going to be using iron-on vinyl. Okay. Here's my twine right here. Super cute. And it says that your twine should be 15 inches. I'm just going to measure it really quickly. Make sure I'm working with the right piece. I have exactly 15 inches. All right, so your instructions say find the center of the twine and place it across the center of the stitch line. So there's my little stitch line right there. I'm going to find the center of my twine. And I'm going to place it, it's right here across my stitch line. And tape in place on both sides of the center point. So we're going to put a piece of tape on either side. Big old piece of tape. Little piece of tape. Stitch the twine tack down line. Do not remove your tape. Okay, let's stitch it down. Okay, you go play. Mommy will play with you in a little bit. Stitch the cinnamon stick leather placement line. Do not remove the tape. So that is step 21. I'm just looking at the picture too. So I'm just going to hit start. It says color doesn't make a difference. The cinnamon stick leather placement line will be, the cinnamon stick leather will be attached after the pillow front is completed. Remove the block from the hoop. We are done. You did it. Congratulations, ladies. I'm going to go ahead and take this up. And I'm going to take this up. And anything with vinyl to me is so cutie patootie. I absolutely love it. And then let's go ahead and get ready. Normally when I do a, let me put this leather away. We're going to go over here to my messy work area. Next on our sheet is going to be, we could do the rolling pins. I'm going to wait on the rolling pins. I want to do the square and square. And when I do those normally, because I want to make sure we get to those, I will do those. If it had batting, I would be doing it on the, I'd be doing it directly on the muslin. But a lot of times that isn't enough support. So I will do those on the poly mesh. So what you're going to do is, let's turn to our page. It's page 40. I brought home a brand new roll of poly mesh because I was all out. Grab that. So they sell mesh. We sell the Baby Lock no-show mesh, and I love this product. I like it because it's a big roll. It is, it's, you know, it's 10 yards, and I like it that it's 12 inches. And 12 inches to me is my favorite size, although I use the 15s, and I use the 20s, and I use the 10s. I like 12 inch because it is the perfect size for your 8-inch hoops if you run them this way, like this. Like imagine this is a hoop, not this way. And then they're perfect for the 5x7 hoop if you run it vertically. It's perfect for the there's my child who forgot her soccer stick, so she's running through. For the 5x7 if you put it straight up and down. So 12 inch is my favorite. Those are the hoops that I kind of use the most for embroidery, but occasionally I do use my 9.5 by 14, and then I like the 15 inch, and then if I use my 10.5 by 16s, I like the 20 inch. So there's a time and a place for everything. I am going to use no-show mesh to do these squares. For me, I don't like the way it feels compared to my muslin, but it is going to give you, it gives you more stabilization than you're going to get from the muslin. And in this case, I don't have batting, so I'm just going to piece directly on this. We're going to be piecing in the hoop, flip and fold. I love flip and fold. It's easy, it's fun, and everything comes out perfect. So let me go ahead and pop this out of the hoop. Your husband loved that name. What name are we? Oh, here comes twin number 2. This one's not running, which means he didn't forget anything. Okay, I'm just going to leave it on the roll. That way I can unhoop and you're not going to lose all of... stabilizer is expensive and it keeps getting more and more expensive. So for me, it's easy to just leave it on the roll. I can drape it this way and we can hang it over this side, or else we can, I can have it be on the inside of your thread space. Depends on how much space you have on your machine too. So let's hoop up. And we're pretty snug. Ooh, I've got a little give. Let me use my hoop screwdriver. I love this hoop screwdriver because it's so much easier than using your fingers, number one, and using a screwdriver which slides off. This is what I use on my sewing machine, and I use it here. It's not, there's a blue one that is made specifically for this one. This I use on all different things, so it's, you know, it's a little big, but it still works perfectly for what I need. Okay, over to the machine. I'm going to slide this onto the hoop, and I'll just be mindful of my stabilizer, and if I need to puddle that down on the floor, bye, Peanut. Bye, buddy. I will see you later.
Actually, I need to grab food.
Let me go ahead and load my design. Focus, Genie. These children running through my sewing room are clouding my mind. Okay, we're going to go to square and square, and I think the design's going to be the same for all of them. So let's go home.
Bye, Mom.
Bye, Peanut. I told them not to slam the door. We're going to have to talk about that at family dinner. Okay. Sweet as pie embroidery. And I'm going to put, you know what? I'm going to get a little, I'll embroider one. I'm going to make a little sign, and I'm going to put it on my door, and it says filming in progress. And here we go. Let's go ahead. This is one where it would make sense to, this is, I wish I had, because OESD has a 10-inch, and I would hoop it, I would do it this way, and then you wouldn't lose any this way. We could snug that up to the top. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit set. I'm just going to leave it where it is just because I am going to be moving along this way. So we'll just leave it just the way it is. And let's go embroidery. And you're going to see it's going to do a template, and then this is all going to be flip and fold. Let's grab our fabric pieces. Which one should we do first? Let me get my handy dandy organizer right here with all of them, and I'm just going to reach in and grab one. We'll do this one. This is, I put S in S, so square in square, block, and this is block B. Should we go in order and do A? Here's A. Let's go in order and do A. Again, this one has, so I pieced this on the back. I just used whatever scraps I had and just used it. But I would definitely recommend putting shape flex on the back of these. In case you haven't, let's put this one to the side. The process is going to be the same. That way you know to go ahead and stabilize your velveteen. I'll just go ahead and do B. We'll keep it easy. Easy peasy. And batting is going to get put on this. It just won't get put on it until we do the quilting. And who knows, maybe these will be configured, we'll do a different configuration because I'm doing this as a wall hanging. So if you look at this, all of this, where basically color isn't going to really make a difference. I have white in there right now. You know what? Just so you can see the template, let me put a different color in. We'll put something just a little bit darker, but not too dark. I'm going to go with cashmere. And yes, that's my final answer. Let's slide on my hoop because I'm not slid on. then first thing it's going to do is it's going to stitch out a template. Let's make sure I'm not leading you astray. Border quilting instructions. Load the embroidery file, stitch the piecing template directly on the stabilizer, place inner square fabric, right side up completely covering section 1. So you're going to see you have, this is my inner square, it's going to be the brown one. So give this a shot of spray. None of the other ones are going to be sprayed because we're going to be laying them down right side down. And we never want to spray the right side of your fabric. And it's number 2, so you're going to know the order in which, well, it's not numbered here, but it's going to be numbered here. If it helps you, you could go ahead and number this too and go, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you'll know what order you're going in, but we're going to be placing this one down first. So when you do these, there's so many directions. I mean, how many steps are there? Let me look at this. To finish one, well, I guess that's not too much. 18 steps. So we're going to go ahead and just lay this down. Make sure you're completely covering this center. And I did spray this one. And it is going to go ahead and do a line. And that line is going to be your placement. They call it trimming placement line. So first thing that we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and we're going to trim. And then we're going to place. So get your applique scissors, your double curved. And ladies, I am going to be spraying in the hoop. This is the only time I really do that. And just go ahead and imagine that line goes all the way across. Just trim straight across, even though that one's not very straight right there. And it wants you, we're going to be laying the yellows down first. Okay? And we have bunches of these because you're going to do 2 of these. So your piece is going to get laid down center to that stitch line, meaning here's my stitch line. You don't want it to be too far to the right or too far to the left. You want it to be centered right on that line, and your raw edge is going to abut that line. It's going to lay right on the line of stitching that you did. Now it's going to sew your 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm going to grip my spray. And if you look at your directions, if you want, you could go ahead and you can iron it. I never do that. I always pull it out a little bit, take my hand and shield it, and I'm going to give it a little shot of spray right on the fabric. Oop. You can see mine. There's just like little drops. And I'm going to fold it up, give it a little finger press, and we are done. Now it's going to do the next line of stitching. This is going to be your trim line and your placement line, because you're going to trim first and then you're going to place. And that's all we're going to do. Isn't this fun? We're just coloring with your fabric. That's all we're doing. So now we're going to get our scissors. Where did I put them? Here they are. Pretend that line extends all the way. Doesn't have to be pretty. You're going to take this. Be mindful of where your stitch line is. Mine is right there to there. We're going to lay down our next piece. And I'm right on that line. It's going to stitch our 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm going to give it a little shot of spray and I'm going to flip it and fold it. Don't ever spray the right side of your fabric. You're only spraying the wrong side. Gonna give it a little shot of spray. If you feel like you cannot spray without getting it everywhere. Do you hear it's like barely coming out and you can barely see it on there? If you don't feel like you can do it well, you can always just finger press it. Give it a little finger press and just hold it, or a little piece of tape or something like that, and just hold it back. Okay, next one. Now we're going to do all across. I know my Cheryl doesn't like to spray. So don't spray. Just do what works for you. This is what works for me. This is what I find the easiest. But if you don't find it easy, I want you to find what's going to be easy. And like I said, you can tape, you can press. That's your trim. Next thing you do is you place. Center it to the stitch, raw edge on there. And then you're going to do your 1/4 inch seam allowance. It's your 1/4 inch right here. Cheryl, what do you do? Do you tape or do you just hold it there? What do you do? Ooh, that was a lot. Sometimes I spray a little too. See where it's dark? And especially if you're getting it all over your machine, you don't want to spray here. I'm going to call it, ladies, I have a couple superpowers. Number one, losing things. I don't know if you're going to find anyone as good at losing things as me. And then my other superpower is spraying. I'm a pretty good sprayer. If you feel as though spraying is not your superpower, take this off your machine. I see I think I've seen like a spray shield where it has like a little hole in it and you can like cover stuff up. So I should look into that, but maybe you could make your own spray shield with just like a piece of cardboard. Uh-oh. There he comes. He's telling me he can't take it much longer. We might just do one of these and start the rolling pin. I thought I had to rush because Michelle's class, but she's on Zoom. And I am live feeding, so. And I'm just looking at this. As far as the colors go, I'm just going to refer to this. I'm just glancing over here on the side. I'm not even looking at the instructions. Center it to that stitch. Stitch it down, and then we are going to flip and fold, and then we're going to be on to the turquoise. I mean, not the turquoise, but the lavender. Hold or finger press? Yeah, hold or finger press. Look at me bragging about how it's my superpower, and then I'm like all over the place. Okay, there we go. I just love this spray because I feel like I get a nice crease. I don't like my stuff. I want everything to be nice and tight. I don't like sloppy edges. I like everything pulled back. Okay, now we're done with the yellow. We're going to lay down the purple. And imagine this line extends all the way. And you can't get all the way. You're going to see that this stitch kind of comes up, so just trim it the best you can. If it sticks up like that, that's totally fine. Center your lavender fabric. You're going to center it to that stitch that we just did. Face down. You're always doing face down. Right side to right side, and then you're going to flip it back. Make sure you're threaded too. Let me go back. I'm going to go back to the beginning of that stitch because you need that stitch. This one's an important one because it is a piecing stitch. Sometimes if it's like a placement stitch, I don't go back. But you need to know when it's important, when it's not important. I'm going to fold it back, press it down. Next trim placement stitch. Let's trim. Okay, get your next piece of purple. You're going to put it right side down. Center it to this stitch it just did. On that stitch line, here's your 1/4 inch seam allowance. We're going to give it a little shot of spray and we're going to fold it over. So if you're somebody that doesn't like piecing, then you're going to love these because you can have these pieced. These perfectly pieced quilt squares. And 2 more, and then we're going to be done. It's going to do an outline stitch. And I reminded the ladies already that were on earlier, but today's the last day for our pre-sale for the, well, it's not the last day, right? Because we'll do 20% off till the quilt comes out. But if you're planning on doing Oh So Delightful, then get it now because we're doing it at 25% off. And today's the last day at 25% off. And then it'll be 20% off, which is what we normally do. But I just told Patrick, I was like, it's so cute, but it's really expensive. Let's do it for 25% off. We did that with Sweet as Pie too, in the beginning. But just take advantage of that. That's probably going to be coming out in February is the date they're giving us right now. So hopefully it'll stay February. You never know with how things are these days. Okay, last one. Oh, you're telling me you've been so patient? Is that what you're telling me? Yes. Oh, he has his head on my lap right now. He's saying, Mommy, I've been so patient. Take me now. So I've never had, Momo's an Australian Shepherd, and I've never had an Australian Shepherd. We had a short hair and we had a husky. And and maybe it's just the dog, but he's definitely the neediest and he's definitely the pushiest. My other dogs would wait until we told them it was time for a walk. But this dog, and he's so cute, I just can't say no. Doesn't it include all the fabric for all the projects on the CD? Usually it does not. Usually the fabric kit is going to have just the fabric for the quilt. But the CD, and if we're talking about Oh So Delightful, so usually it'll have, they'll have other projects in there, but it usually does not include all of that. You're just going to have the fabric for the quilt. All right, let me slide that back on, and then we'll do one more outline stitch. And this puppy is done. You're just going to have to trim it up. So now we've done a square in square, so you know what to do. And you saw how easy that was and how cute it is. And that one is done. It's going to be the same pattern. You're going to repeat that. That probably took us, how long did that take us? I don't even know. Maybe it took us 15 minutes. So just plan yourself accordingly for the rest of these. You have 8 of these to do. And I'm going to just clip this back. And I'm going to put it in my handy dandy, keep me organized plastic sleeve, and this has all of them. And if you have not put Shape Flex on the back of your pieces that are that have the velveteen, I would put it on there just to help you avoid shred that you might get near the seams. Okay, let's start rolling pin, because I cannot guarantee you we'll finish it in class. I think we will. We'll see what Momo will tolerate. But I am going to start rolling pin. Let me tidy up the littlest bit. Always keep these. Just take these and roll them up and put them in your stabilizer so you don't get confused with what stabilizer is what. And we are going to do rolling pin. Rolling pin is on page 38. I gave you a lot of homework last time. How'd you do with that? Were you guys okay with it? We're going page 38. I said these ladies can handle it. They're motivated. Here is rolling pin. And I'm going to do this in my 8x12 hoop. I think he's skinnier. The finished size is going to be, is it 4x8 is going to be your finished size. But we did need that 8x12. And I'm going to be hooping. Let me take this out. If you leave this on the roll, when you do your next hooping, you're just going to pop it up. You can trim this. Don't trim it all the way because, you know, you're going to be pressing it and stuff. But you can trim some of this off. Leave like at least 1/4 inch, if not 1/2 inch. And then you're going to just move it over and you're going to do your next one. People want to measure this and go, oh, this is my embroidery field. It's not. Because you have a no-sew area around here that's about 1 inch on the top and bottom and 1/2 inch on the sides. So then you can just go ahead and hoop up and we are going to be ready for the next one. Okay? So that is how I just use stabilizer on the roll. Just makes sense. If you don't like doing that, don't do that. You can do whatever you want. I want you to be happy. I want you to be doing your Kimberbell and smiling as you do it. I'm going to take this and put it off to the side. I don't want you to go, Jeannie told me I had to do it this way. I hate it. I want you to just do whatever makes you happy. Okay, I have a big old piece, and I wasn't going to cut it because I was like, you know what? I might work this way, or I might work this way. So this is a big old piece because I think I'm going to take my design and I'm going to snug it this way, and then it'll leave me all of this that's going to be left over. I think what I'm going to do, though, with my rolling pin is I'm going to do rolling pin, and then I'm going to go right below it and do gather. But usually I cut this to fit. This piece I'm leaving a little bit bigger, and that way I have options left and right and up and down. And it's not that much bigger. I probably have, I don't know, maybe this is 15 inches across, and then I'm going straight down with it right now. Did I tighten this? What's going on here? We had such nice weather last week, and now we are back in the 80s. I don't know if that's going on all over the country. I'm so sad because I was really looking forward to fall weather, sweater weather. Okay, I'm hooped up. I am going to go over here to my machine and let's grab rolling pin. Here's my rolling pin. Look how fantastic this leather is that came in the kit, and then the cork. Oops, wrong one. We want this one. Okay, we're going to need our background fabric, our brown embroidery leather for the handles, and our cork for the rollers. And I think that's it. Let's go ahead and get started. Let me grab my sheet. We'll load up the design. If you need a potty break, well, you're going to have to find a time. I don't take them. So you just have to find a time when we're doing satin stitch or something like that. If you need a snack, same thing. Because we have too much to do, ladies. Too much stitching to do and not enough time. All right. Let's go ahead and let's go embroidery. And we're going to go rolling pin. Our quilting design is Hobby 5. Quilting design. Okay, and we are doing quilting design, Hobby 5, right here. And we need the 4x8 one. 4x8. 4x8 right here. Set it. Let me choose my hoop size. 8x12. And of course, there's other ones that you can use. You could do this in a, how come I'm not doing this in a 6x10? I don't know. I'm looking at this and going, this would probably fit into, but it doesn't make a difference. I'm going to take my design and scoot it all the way up and all the way to the left. But this would definitely fit into your 6x10. I'll change that on the spreadsheet. Let me get a pen right now so I don't forget. 6x10. 6x10. Maybe I didn't want to run around with all different hoop sizes, but you can definitely fit this into your 6x10. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add, and we are going to add the rolling pin design. And Why does that say 5 by 7? I just wanted to look at that again. That's definitely the right one. So we're just going to go ahead and leave it. I guess it would just be 5 by 7 if we didn't have the quilting behind it. That it would fit into the 5 by 7. So I am going to leave everything because it looks like everything is centered. And I'm going to go embroidery. And on this page, everything will be combined. And I'm just going to take this and put it in my upper left-hand corner. And I have my hoop on, so it won't let me outside of that embroidery field. And we are ready to go. I'm going to start off, and I think, because I have all my muslin just here puddled on my lap, my next design, which is gather, I'll just work it right underneath this. And that way we'll save all of this over here. It's a lot more, you know, I'm dealing with some muslin, but it gives me more options for my hooping. So let's see what color they're calling for the quilting. It looks like they're calling for sand. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that in now. We'll use that for our placement line and for everything else. I talked to my rep on my Kimberbell rep gave me a call, and they are like the nicest people over there. My sales reps and all of the people that work at Kimberbell are so nice. But I did give them some feedback on some stuff, and you can always share with me stuff if there's that I can share with them. And like I could tell she was actually writing it down, and like, you know, it's nice when they listen, right? That's always nice. I'm gonna give my batting a shot of spray and my backing fabric. I told them I wish they would just include the quilting designs. Don't you? I said, you know, these ladies love Kimberbell and they spend a lot of money on your designs and embellishment kits. It'd be nice if the quilting designs were just part of the design pack. And it doesn't have to be the whole design, all of the quilting designs, but the ones needed for, because we did that event, the, was it No Place Like Home? And all the quilting designs were in it. And I just thought that was nice. Okay, let me lay this down. I'm going to skip the next steps. Remember how I forgot on one of them because I got too busy jibber jabbering? That's my tack down for my batting. Skip it. Placement for my background. Skip it. Tack down for my background. Then let's go ahead and stitch that down. And I'm going to hit start and just let it go ahead and do all the stitching. And then let's see what's coming up in our instructions. After we do this, we're going to stitch the handle placement line. It looks like it wants brown. Brown's going to be our next color because we're going to stitch the handles down. So I'm just going to put that in next. And this one's a pretty quick one. It's a total of 14 minutes of stitch time. The longest stitch out's just going to be the rolling pin part. I can't stop thinking about lunch. What am I going to have? we are done with the quilting. Now we're going to go ahead. I'm going to put in that brown because we're going to need it. And we're going to stitch the handle placement line. And let's get your brown leather. And I'm not gonna cut mine right now. I'm just gonna lay down my handle, trim it, and then I'll lay down the next one. So placement lines, I'll let it go ahead and do both of those. Do you want to see my shelf of good myself? Actually, I can't even call it my shelf of good intentions because at this point it is shelves and maybe even boxes, and I have clear containers. Like I have Kimberbell, Baby Lock had these awesome bags. I want to see I think it's going to stitch here first. And they were closing them out, so I did them at a great price for the ladies. But I got a bunch of them, and they're just clear vinyl bags. They're so nice. I was like, these are gonna be my projects in process. Well, they're filled with projects in process, and now I can't even use them because I haven't done the projects in process in the bags. And I'm looking at them right now. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 of them. I told myself I'm not. Whoops! Stop it before it does that. I just hit the stop button. I'm gonna trim this one and then lay my leather down. Yes. My shelf of good intentions. Because someday, right? That's what we tell ourselves, and I think it's true. Someday I'm gonna have lots of time. I'm not gonna work forever. And then I'll just see you ladies at quilt retreats and getaways, sewing getaways. Michelle at our store is going to be going, oh, you know what? You want to trim close because this is going to have a satin stitch. Trim it close. Michelle is going, I think she's doing like a cruise, like a sewing cruise or something. Doesn't that sound amazing? I don't know why my husband... You know why? I do know why. That's just not his thing. He's not a cruise kind of guy. But I could see sewing and going with your girlfriends and doing a cruise being great. But I do worry because I feel like there's always like outbreaks of norovirus and things like that. I've never been on a cruise. What is your opinion? Would you go on a sewing cruise? I think that would be super fun. Just like sew all day with your lady friends, and then somebody cooks for you, and then you could do a stop off somewhere and see something fun. I don't even need to stop off. I would just keep sewing. Okay, let's do the next one. Should I lay it down like this instead? Okay. Okay, I'm doing my second one. Let me adjust my camera. Okay, trim it close. You're going to be satin stitching. This leather is nice. This is final because it feels like, yeah, So it has a felt back. Totally feels like leather. Isn't it amazing what they can make these days? It's my shelf of good intentions. Okay, next step. Next step is stitch the handle outline. Okay, here we go. Satin stitch. Fluff your muslin. Make sure it's not folded under. Bye, bye. Love you. Filming in progress. Do not slam door. That's the sign I'm going to make for myself. After this, we're going to stitch the roller placement line, and the color it's going to be asking for is going to be, why can't I remember? You know what? It has to be cork, right? It has to be. So we're going to use cork, because it's cork we're using. It's got to be cork. It just wouldn't be right. Probably no to a cruise. Oh no, Brenda, but it's not going to go down. I know. That is a fantastic movie. All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to change out my thread right now. And that's one of those movies. There's like a handful of movies. There's probably more than that. But movies that come on where you're flipping through the channel, through the stations, and it's on and you just watch it even though you've seen it like 20 times. I can do that with Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump's one of those movies for me. I'm going to give this one a little shot of spray. I can do that with like Shawshank Redemption. That's like one of those movies I love. Okay, this one we're going to trim close to the stitch, so I'm just going to put it right on the very edge. Yeah, but cruising and sewing and being with your lady friends. I love being with my lady friends, all my lady friends, right? But my crafting lady friends, because I feel like sewing's so positive. You make something, your friend's like, oh my god, it's so beautiful, I love it. They're never like, that's so ugly. And if you have a lady friend like that, then that should not be your lady friend. Okay, let's trim it up. And then I find that sewing with my lady friends is always inspiring too. I'm pretty in the box. And so I love being with my lady friends that show me something. I go, oh my God, that's amazing. I should, you know, they inspire you because they do something a little bit different, or they use colors you would have never chosen. Is this rolling pin magnificent? It's like absolutely magnificent. Okay, let me get this out of the way. And our last step, because we've trimmed it close, is to stitch the roller detail and roller satin outline, and then we are done. So let's talk about sew along. Whoops. I can see I'm not threaded through my needle. I keep thinking, I don't know if we're going to be able to wait. Who's going to be able to wait 2 weeks for the next sew along? And so I'm thinking, what if I just stitch out the rest of the blocks? Because there's not much left. And if you guys are okay with it, what I'll have to do is the gathering quilting with inner border quilting, then embroider gather, the outer border quilting, and the dimensional badges. That's just, there's just not much left to do. I mean, because otherwise it's going to be 2 weeks before we get together again, next week and then the week after. So I think in the next 2 weeks I'll be able to get that all done. So I think this might be our last sew along, not our last forever, but our last sweetest pie. Because I'm just going to sew these out and I'll post the videos, and then we'll get ready for the next project. We have a fun project coming out. There is a demo project that's going to be coming out in October that I'm going to be doing, and I still haven't gotten to do my Merry Christmas, y'all. And I told people I'm going to be doing that on my 10 needle. Maybe I will live feed that on the 10 needle, because I know people have 10 needles, and I know people are curious about 10 needles. And if you don't have a 10 needle, it's still going to be the same process that we're going to go through, except I'm just going to be loading all my thread colors on my thread stand and not having to change those out. So we've got a lot to do. If for some reason I can't get these done, then we'll just meet on the, so is it the 10th? Is that our next time that we're supposed to be getting together? So you will either be, you'll start seeing all the finishing videos, the videos that are going to be for day 3, or else I will update and we will do, we'll end up doing day 3. But I think most likely I'm going to be filming those. I can't wait to do, I know a lot of you have already done it, but I can't wait to do Merry Christmas, y'all. That one is cute. I don't care what the haters say. It is cute. We need our weekly. We're gonna get it. Should I live feed Merry Christmas, y'all? Maybe we'll do that one next. So even if you're not doing, even if you're not stitching that out, you can be like Susan and you can just join us to do your spring showers. I'm just, you know what it is? I'm worried that you're gonna be like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to wait for 2 weeks. That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried that I'm leaving you hanging for those who want to get their sweetest pie done. So maybe what we'll do is, I'm thinking. Maybe we'll do, I'll finish up sweetest pie and film those blocks, and then we'll do Merry Christmas, y'all. And you can just join us as a sew along, just to sew, or you can join us for the project. How's that sound? But next week I will not be here because I will be in Vegas doing what people do in Vegas with 4 17-year-olds. So we're taking my daughter, I have 17-year-old twins. So it's going to be my daughter and then and my son, my daughter, my son, and then 2 of my son's friends are going to be coming with us. So what do you do in Vegas with 4 17-year-olds? I'm always thinking about you guys for some. I just want to make sure you guys get your projects done. I want to make sure that this stuff isn't sitting on your shelf of good intentions. The rolling pin is cute. I'm going to tidy up while it's stitching out. Actually, I think we're almost done. I was sitting there daydreaming. That's music to my ears. That means we are done with another block. And it is cute. There's our rolling pin. And it's adorable. All right. Homework. Your homework assignment is going to be to finish up your square in squares. We did one of them. You've got 7 more to go. And I'm pretty sure as long as it's not too crazy at the store, because some weeks I just don't have the time to do any stitching, I'm going to be filming these. And then I am going to put this together as a wall hanging. It's going to be so gorgeous. And of course you can put it together as a pillow, and I will show you how I put it together as the wall hanging. We will get together one way or the other for what day is it? Let me look at my calendar. The 10th. If we are not doing this on the 10th, guess what? We're going to be doing Merry Christmas, y'all. But I got to warn you, I am going to be doing it on my multi-needle because I told the ladies I would do it on the multi-needle. It's going to be the same. If you think I'm fast now, you're going to see I'm even faster on my multi-needle just because all my threads are going to be preloaded, and I'm just going to be sending my stitch outs to needle 1, then needle 5, to needle 4. So I'm just going to be doing that, but it's kind of cool, and you can kind of see how it's done, and you can work along with us. I think that's it. You're welcome, ladies. Thanks, Terry. You've been here that whole time. Hope you had fun and hope you got to stitch with us. I will finish doing all my stitch outs. I don't know if I'm going to, you guys have seen the stitch out for the square and square. I don't think I'm going to stitch the rest of them out on film because it's all going to be the same. But I will do all of these. And I will see you later. Thanks for joining me. That was super fun. And I can't wait to see all your finished pillows. I hope you'll post them on our Sew Along site. I love seeing them. And it's just nice meeting you and spending time with all of you. And